Hey, B More City. Y'all know I gotta sing my song right. Y'all know I gotta sing my song. Wait a minute, I was trying to get my stuff right on TikTok. I gotta sing my song. Y'all know I gotta sing my song. I gotta sing my song. Sorry, family, for being so late. Sorry, sorry, sorry. Sorry for being so late. Alrighty. Okay, let's go. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation show. I like to go boom, boom, boom sometimes, family. It's just in my spirit. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation show. Boom, boom, boom. Steve Copeland. See my other see this right here? This is the Latanya D. Copeland House of Hope Foundation. I named the housing program after my sister family. She passed away on me in 2002. My best friend. You know, people be in your life, you never look for them to leave. She went through a lot, and I wanted her to have some peace in her life. But when God took her, I was mad. I was mad. But this is my sister Latanya. Those are her children. I'm trying to see if any of her grandbabies right there. I just had them make this for me, and so I can hang it up behind me from time to time. So it's over top of the Teen Talk Show. So when I point at my sister, y'all know what I'm talking about. I miss her a lot, family. Um, I don't know. Y'all see that guy right there? This guy right here. Let me show y'all. This dude right here. That's Steve Copeland. Strengthen the community. Mr. Copeland. That's who I am. I just want to say this, family. I was thinking about self-control and discipline, right? And I'm gonna try not to be too long, because I see Faith right there, and I know C-Trey and them normally start their platform around about 7:45. So I'm coming, but I just want to sit in. Okay, okay, Queen. Okay, Faith, my little queen. But look, family, I was just looking at, self control and self discipline. So, y'all know basically, I'm going to talk about that 12-step spiritual journey, right? Anytime I come on Monday through Friday from 6 to 8 o'clock, it's about the 12-step spiritual journey. And for a lot of y'all that might not understand, as an ordained deacon, as a man of God, as a man that has 33 years clean from the smugs for TikTok's sake family, but I'm talking about the drugs and the alcohol for my family in Baltimore City. I'm talking about the drugs and the alcohol to my people that's watching this on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, two of my Facebook pages. I'm streaming live to 8 other platforms, Instagram, all that while we're talking, while I'm talking. in one spot. So I started this some years and years and years ago, family, to encourage, to motivate, to empower our people. Some of y'all can call it ego, you can call it pride, you can call it all that good stuff. That's fine. But understand this, I had to learn to start practicing some self-control and discipline. Wes Stun, I don't know if you're going to come over here, but I enjoyed your story, my bro. And I know you don't mind me sharing this because we're similar. You're a lot younger though. Well, he got a wife and he has somebody else on the side that he been having for 7 years. His wife know it now. He been married for 10. And she knows that he's got a side. What I love about it, it reminds me of my story. And I went up on Mr. A Petty platform because some women was trying to come for him. And my thing is, you need to listen. Learn to listen and listen to learn. You don't have to be so quick to run off at your mouth for things that you don't understand. And that's what I was telling them. I said, listen to him. Listen, because he's sharing his experience. See, he could be sharing some stuff that your man might be doing to better help you understand and get a clear mind. Sometimes when you end stuff, family, and I'm talking about practicing certain behaviors that goes against the relationship or the marriage. Sometimes when you end it, you ain't thinking about leaving. You just want to do some outside stuff. So as I was listening to my man, I was hearing myself. You know, not just having that wife, both of my wives, I love. Okay? You just don't, I was gonna say you just don't fall out of love, right? That desire might start crunching away, but it takes work to keep it going. I can tell you that personally, because I'm the one that refused to continue to work. But when I look at myself, right, I had to learn to be honest with myself. I had to learn to be true to thyself. And what I was sharing with Lee, right, when she was talking with Wes, was to let her know, most importantly, listen. Because this brother's up here sharing his personal experience. See, I ain't got time for that other bull crap. So as we was talking, family, and I'm looking at the procrastination, I'm looking at the dishonesty, I'm looking at the lies, I'm looking at the manipulations, I'm looking at the being deceitful. And the reason why I'm saying those things, family, because no matter how I felt like I was doing the right thing, that's what I was practicing. I was being dishonest. I was being deceptive. Hey, Aaron, how you been? I'm gonna come to DC one day. I want to meet you. I follow you a lot, Aaron. And I share a lot of your stuff over with my Facebook page. I'm a community activist, Aaron. I'm a human rights advocate. I follow you. I'm amazed at you. I'm in Baltimore City. I know you in DC. So prayerfully, we'll catch up with each other one day. Yeah, y'all, that's Ern. That's Ern from DC, the news reporter, the journalist. That's Ern. And congratulations on the baby, Ern. But my whole goal, family, y'all know when I come on, is to empower, to encourage, to motivate our people in Baltimore City. The ones that feel like they can't accomplish nothing in life. And the goal is, yes, you can. That's one of the reasons, right? I started the LaTanya D. Copeland Housing Program. I started strengthening the community. That's the LLC with the LaTanya D. Copeland House of Hope. I wanted to talk about those things that a lot of us will turn around and do. Being deceitful, being dishonest, procrastinating. Today, that's not how I try to live my life. That's why I love coming on here talking about certain things, family. But that's only to empower, to encourage. And y'all gonna hear me say it over and over and over and over and over and over and over. Because it has to sink in. So y'all know. Now I'm gonna do this right here, right? Because I was talking about procrastinating, and I'm trying to get the other word back in my head, right? But when procrastination came to play, being dishonest started coming to play, being deceitful started coming to play, just being that manipulator, right? And this is what I was explaining to them. And I'm gonna tell y'all right now, Wes, like I said, I don't know if you're listening, bro. But when I stepped out, the pleasure and the fun was stepping out knowing that she didn't know what I was doing. See, if y'all want to know why some men do what we do, ask Steve Copeland. I can tell you the little boy inside of me ran, and I ran to the arms of other women. I was messing with Lee, right? I told Lee over there on I'm back at Mr. But God dang it, Petty's platform, right? I'm back over there, right? In my mind. Because I wanted Miss Lee to know. Watch what I call myself. Some things about some crut balls like us. I'm talking about me, man. Right? If I said about us being deceitful, being dishonest, and I was telling her, because I'm a little bit older, I grew up with some poor misinformation. And I apologize, family. My mind just went back to this conversation that we had earlier, right? About my man over there, Shan, about being married. And then he had a friend on the side. He had it for 7 years. They business partners. But now I'm going to tell you all this. Listening to him, it was like I was hearing an old soul. But turn around, he was only 40-something. But I was hearing an old soul. And I was telling him, excuse me, it's not to beat him up for what he's doing, because I was there. I was there at one point. Now that I have done the necessary work, because I don't live like that no more, Baltimore City and TikTok family, YouTube. I don't live like that no more. And I told them, I said, the reason why I talk the way I do, because I want other people that's caught up in certain things understand and know that you can come up out of it. Now, I'm going to use this word right here, right, because it just came in my head. I said it the other day. I have an addictive personality. I had to learn to practice some self-control and discipline. You get me? That's what this is about too. Self-control and discipline. I had to learn how to tell myself, no, Steve, you can't do this. Steve, no, you can't do that. Or I got to keep in mind, one is too many and 1,000 is never enough. Because if I'm not happy with myself in the inside now, I'm going to look for outside stuff to bring me that joy, that peace, that happiness over my life. And as a result of it, I can come real abusive with it in an unhealthy way. That's what I'm talking about. Thank God gambling wasn't one of my problems. Cigarettes wasn't one of my problems. But when it came to lying, manipulating, and cheating, I was number one. Now, as a 64-year-old man, I find younger women desirable. I've been thinking about it lately, right? I said, hey, Black, I said, I'm going to go and get some Beijing and put it in here, right? I said, no. Look, because my body, look, black, my flesh, right? Boy, I'm gonna go get me some Beijing because I'm 64. And look, I know getting somebody ain't a problem. Never been for me. You get me? But the thing is, Bishop, you bet not. You bet not. So what I'm talking about when I say I had to learn to practice some self-control and self-discipline, I had to learn to tell myself, no, you can't do this, Steve Copeland. You can't do that, Steve Copeland. Basically, we call it dying to the flesh every day because you only get one day at a time. One day at a time. My goal today at a time, April the 9th, Thursday, 7:32, is to be the best human being I can be for the Holy Spirit. And anytime I ask God to decrease me and increase him, he says, Steve, who else going to share your story? You being honest. You being truthful. You sharing to the point where, guess what? If you stuck in certain areas, you can come up out of it too. You can be delivered from it too. The good part, the blessing is today being 64. A lot of the stuff I used to do as a child, I don't do no more. I'm in granddaddy mode. I don't do it no more, family. A lot of that stuff don't feel right. So I can say I've been delivered, right? I could say I've been redeemed. I'm just talking about today from not practicing certain old behaviors. And when I open up my mouth, I want that next individual, man or woman or teenager, child, young adult, to understand you can become successful in life. And I'm talking about mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. It's work that I had to do. I had to learn to be honest with Steve. I had to learn to have faith back in Steve. I had to learn to trust back in Steve. I had to learn to love Steve. So when y'all hear me saying I'm a Christian man, right? When I say I'm a Christian man, this is what I'm telling y'all. Philippians 2nd chapter, verses 1 through 11. I'm a loving, kind, considerate man. Hey, T, I'm a loving, kind, considerate man. I'm emulating Christ's humility. That's how I look at us as individuals. I'm a loving, caring, kind, considerate man. But God dang it, you pissed me off. I'll flip that table over on you. Because guess what? When Jesus flipped that table, I was like, oh my God, he was real. So it showed me he got angry too. I don't know where a lot of people at today. I don't try to figure you out. The only thing I do, I know there's a beautiful side of me. And I know there's a side that can be a no good, rotten person. But I like that beautiful side. And I want other people to be able to grab hold to that beautiful side of them. So when I talk about being honest in those areas where you want to tell a lie, start practicing the truth there. When you want to be dishonest, start practicing the truth there. You want to have faith. You got to start believing back in you. I'm not a bad person at all. I got a good side and I got a bad side, but number one, I'm a great human being. I just got to let that positive side of me show out more, you get me, than that negative side. Then I got to start trusting and believing back in Steve Copeland. You can do it too. That's why I always say my 12-step spiritual program. Because I start understanding everybody don't believe in the Bible. Everybody do not believe in the word of God. So it all depends on who I'm talking to. I have to know how to feed you, to grasp your spirit, your insides. That's why I normally listen. I have to listen real closely. And the goal is I listen to your spirit. I didn't mean to go here, but I listen to your spirit because I hear everything you're saying. I hear what you're saying. I feel your spirit. And if I feel that you're pained up, I feel that you're hurting, you're dealing with trauma, right? You dealing with, say, for TikTok's sake, family, I gotta say grape issues. Okay. I gotta talk about grape. For my Restream platform, I'm talking about rape. I'm talking about being molested. I'm talking about being abused mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, physically, and you need help with it. This is what the couch conversation is all about. You can't afford to go to therapy. You stuck in the house. This is what this talk show is all about. It's about you releasing that pressure, getting that stuff up off of you that happened in the past so you can live a healthier, more healthier way of life today. This is how I work with our men. This is how I work with our women. Hey, B man, this is how I work when it comes to the people in my housing program. My goal is to help you get to know you, be the best person you can be. If we got to set short-term goals to long-term goals, we'll do that. If you need a PRP, we'll get you one. If you need a counselor, a therapist, or psychiatrist, we will get you one. I'd rather see you do the right things than to have your mind speeding on you. Moving 100 miles and I can say an hour. Mind steady gone. And you trying to catch it and slow it down. Come on. That's what the couch talk is about. Keeping it real, family. And I'm going to tell y'all this. I've been doing this now for some years. I get messages from all over. As a homeless advocate, I get messages from other nonprofits all over. Africa, Ghana, all these different places. I started a foundation in Liberia, Maxwell Harris Foundation. So sometimes when I get people messaging me because they might be helping out the orphans, right? Because I'm working over here, I can't be everywhere over there. But I will still talk with you because if I can get somebody that's willing to help you in your area of the world or the country that you in, that's what I would do. That's what I do. I get so many calls, family, and it's not being smart. I had to put my phones on vibrate, on silent. Because to some people, if you look me up, you think you're calling a shelter. No, I'm not a shelter. But we provide shelter temporarily, a roof over your head. And the goal is to help you get your life together so you can get into a permanent place. Not only that, if you're not making a lot of money, you struggling. The goal is to get you into an apprenticeship program, to get you in a workforce development program where you can go from making what, $12, $15 an hour to making $20, $30 an hour. You want to get into tractor trailer school. You want to get into nursing. You want to get into plumbing. You want to be a CNA. You want to be an LPN. You want to get into cosmetology. This is why I come on here, mainly for Baltimore City, to let y'all know. If you out there on the corners and you doing what you're doing, remember, I put the package out years ago. Over 33, let me make that clear. So I know. But you got to be the one that want to turn your life around. That's why I said I know. You got to do the work to turn your life. What's up, Mike? Mike? You got to do the work to turn your life around. When the women and children come into my housing program and I do my intake, I let them know. You have to change this. You have to change your old ways of thinking. Wherever you're stuck in your life and you're not progressing, you got to start learning something new. Pushing out that old stuff. And that's not something that happened overnight, family. You're going to stumble, you're going to fall, but the thing is, you learning to be a better person. Don't stumble. Mike said, clear your mind and start over. Thank you. Thank you, Mike. Mike. He said, clear your mind and start over. Because that's it. That's it. And look, just like Mike said, right? And Mike, you took me back to this again. Post-traumatic slavery syndrome. If y'all don't understand it, look it up. Do your research on it. Post-traumatic slavery syndrome. This been passed down from 1619 to keep us down. I didn't understand a lot of this, family, but I had to. It's a mindset thing. Now, as a community activist, right? As a community organizer, y'all know I come up against the politicians a lot for the bills that they tend to create to hurt the people. But guess what I realized? And I sent this to Donald. Because he made a statement out of his mouth about the politicians. Politicians don't have solutions, brother. We are the ones with the solution. We are the ones. They just the lawmakers. We are the ones that create, invent stuff. I can even say create ideas, right? We are the ones that create programs to help the people to live more accordingly. They don't do that. So they look for us. People like myself with the LLC, the LaTanya D. Copeland House of Hope. People like We, Ours, Us. People like Safe Streets. They need me to come and talk with them though. Out the Safe Streets. The Safe Streets. I'm here for y'all. Y'all need me. I'm recovering. I'm reformed from that destructive lifestyle. If you need me, I can come and talk with y'all and help y'all. I sponsor y'all. Yeah. That's why the LaTanya D. Copeland House of Hope. I have it's LDC $ L capital LDC for LaTanya D. Copeland Fund. I had it foundation, but I just broke it down to fund. And it's 0210 on the end. She passed away February the 2nd. She passed away February the 2nd on the 10th. No, February on the 10th. Wait a minute, I gotta catch myself. – . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . This is the only way I can remember. She passed away the 10th, February the 10th, 2022. 10 days before my birthday, February the 20th. So I changed it, Mike, from my name, and I put it in her name because this is basically the foundation. It's on there. It's on Facebook. It's on all that. It's on my Wait a minute, Mike. I'm old, bro. Well, you older than me now. Now I need to think a lot younger now, Mike, because you over here. It's on my website as well. I ain't no joke, family. I'm not no joke. I was walking around, Mike, and I was thinking about this Baltimore City. Y'all know I speak out a lot, right? And be honest, I had to back up some. This is a way now for me to get my voice out. This is a way. I've been looking at so many community activists, civil rights advocates, human rights advocates. No, let me go back to this one again. Civil rights advocates being arrested. Standing up for our people. Now I'm gonna read what Mike just wrote because he's not lying. Dealing with government officials can be really difficult. I learned that 3 years ago, Mike, when that officer came up with 14 fake charges and a false police report. And the detective lady did 3 so that I couldn't make my 30-day court thing. They kidnapped me and they hid me away. I had just told Brandon Scott March 11th. I said, Brandon Scott, I need to talk to you about what I'm going through with the Eastern District Police Department. Mackenzie Frost knew. Yep. Mike said, yeah, to scare you and make you back down. He ain't lying. 11 months I spent over the prison. First time in my life I ever been locked up. For some bull crap. Never even went to court to talk with a judge. Like every court date I supposed to went to, for some reason I didn't make it. That's why when me and my lawyer was talking, I agreed to the plea deal just to shut that door. I don't like prison. I don't understand how people can do it, where you don't have that freedom to come and go as you please. I ain't even trying to go there. I was gonna say I ain't even trying to figure it out. I just don't get it, guys. Y'all over the prison with a bunch of other guys, a bunch of other men. What is wrong? So basically what I'm saying, don't do the crime if you don't want to do the time. Mike said Baltimore is a beautiful place. It's great to have someone like you trying to make it better. I'm tired, family. But I don't want to give up. I don't want to give up. Sometimes I do ask myself, Mike, is it all worth it? But when I see people like Alfonso Mayo on LinkedIn and the work that he's doing with our youth, not just the young men, but the young ladies as well. When I look at Uncle T, not just the young men, but the young ladies as well. When I look at Lisa Moloch, most of the ones she deal with is over 18 and up to 24. These people I'm talking about, family, gives me that sense of hope to keep moving. This thing can drain you. And I know a lot of people don't care. And know what? I ain't talking about no white man. I'm talking about us. You keep pointing your fingers in the other direction. That means you don't want to look at yourself. Did y'all ever realize that? When you sit back and say the white man this and the white man that and the this and that, you moving away from you. I realized that. That's why when y'all hear me talk from time to time, when I say I came out in the 10th grade, I got a 9th grade education. I got into truck driving at 21. When I told my lawyer that, he couldn't believe it. Because most people that's not very educated, you get me? They normally break the law to survive. Yeah, I might talk with Kofi about that too, Mike. I might talk with Kofi about that because, be honest with y'all, Mike, I was trying to. The goal, Mike, is to start rehabbing and vitalizing houses in Baltimore City. I know, Mike. I got you. I was thinking about him with a bead man. But the goal is in Baltimore City too, part of the business is to start rehabbing and revitalizing houses for low to moderate income people. So I started reaching out for investors, what Mike is saying about the GoFundMe, for investors, sponsors, and business partners. But now I'm looking for that philanthropist money. Y'all hear me out there? Kevin Plank, I don't know what's going on with you. I've been trying to reach out to you. Ed Hill, I've been trying to reach out to you. You the owner of the Baltimore Blast. Bob Wallace, he's a black billionaire in Baltimore City. Ran for mayor. I know you ran twice. He already know. Mike just asked me about Brandon Scott. Brandon Scott know. Brandon Scott already know about the housing program and all that. They know everything I do. They know everything I do, Mike. Ivan Bates, that's our state's attorney. I helped him twice when he ran for state's attorney the first time with Marilyn Mosby. He won the second one. Brandon Scott, this is what I said, Mike, because I realized in Baltimore City, I want y'all to understand this because y'all know Big Steve got a big mouth, right? Y'all know I come, right? But what I learned in this process, family, they are politicians. The only thing they do is create laws. We create the solutions. So once that was made clear to me, I kind of backed up. The reason why I said I backed up, because I'm waiting for them to create the laws. Now, if they create laws that will hurt the people, and most of the people, Mike, I'm talking about family, Baltimore City, please understand, it's your low to moderate income people. Now, I'm not saying if you're middle class, because it's only three classes. You got your poor, you got your middle class, then you have your rich. That goes into your billionaires and all of that. Yeah, I'm gonna say this, Mike, because Mike said he read something on the news that he was trying to clean up an area in Baltimore City. Now I'm gonna say this, because this is what I realized, just what you said, Mike. It's going to take the people. As a community organizer, I can come into your community, not by myself now. I'm just saying the work that we do, and help you organize, help you gain control back over your community. I say this all the time. 9 times out of 10, I know when we was coming up, Mike, we didn't let just anybody come in our community and try to run it. So it's normally your own family members that's tearing up their own communities with the smugs and all that type of stuff. Now they will go into other areas now and commit crimes and then run back home. But then look at it. They got so many cameras out here. Guess what? If they want to catch them, they can catch around now, filming stuff about certain areas of Baltimore City. I told him watch his back. You know what happened with me? You know, Kenny, watch your back. Watch your back. I've been watching them videos with you, and I see Mackenzie right there too. One thing I love about Mackenzie will dig deep for that dirt on you. Y'all know it, Mackenzie Frost family. Yeah, um, Sean Stanton, he's in the House of Delegates right now. Mike, I think he's running for a council seat as well. But right now, he does a lot around Baltimore City. I talk about Sean Stanton. I talk about Corey McCray, Senator Corey McCray. Antonio Hayes, you know I love you, bro. Nephew, I grew up with you. Your mother and your father, I'm sorry. Now, I don't see them filming you that much, Antonio Hayes, the way they do Corey McCray. Now, we all on LinkedIn. I know you got a LinkedIn page. Donald Glover Morton. Yeah. Because Mike said there's landscaping. Yeah, there's landscaping that go around and cut and clean up houses that can't afford a landscaper. Yeah, Mike. And thank you, Mike. Thank you for saying that, because I gotta reach out to these people too. Do y'all know Baltimore City? It's a bunch of teenagers that's rehabbing houses. It took them a year to do it. So it's like one at a time. You know, I got to reach out to them, right? Because they actually educate them in the process, like, construction and all that. So like Mike said, uh remember the other guy, Mike, I was talking about? I don't have his last name up here, Mike, but he does the same things. He does landscaping with the youth and everything. And he did have something going with the city. I don't know what really happened all about that, but you know. But I'm gonna tell you this too, Mike, while you saying that. Janet Graham. I gotta talk about Janet Graham. Janet Graham program is called Come on, eyeballs. Come on, eyeballs. No struggles, no success. Just like Marlo Hargrove, she worked with returning citizens. Now, she just don't work with the adults. She worked with the teenagers too. I was like, what? Because you got to find them housing and stuff like that. It was 5 families from D.C. when Trump and them went in there with the National Guards and start jacking a lot of the homeless and less fortunate people up that's out on the streets. I got a phone call and we placed 5 of them, 5 families. Unc is from D.C. and he's doing a lot of great work over in D.C. Right? I have other housing programs, apartment managers, real estate investors, you know, because the goal is if I can get you into something permanent because you can afford it, then that's what we're going to do. But you have to afford it. If I can get you in with the Section 8 and the low income programs they had, but I'm finding out they have more programs, housing programs that you can get like vouchers for. So this is why I have to. And Alan Stern, I reached out to you because you have a contract with HUD Housing. But what I found out with him, he's a Jewish guy. If you can pay it, he'd rather for you to pay it than to put you on that Section 8 or low income. Because me and him was talking. And I watched what he did with somebody. He told me, well, it's business. I said, okay, I got you. So my thing is, when I'm dealing with our homeless and less fortunate people, your money got to be right. But the goal is to get you in, either with the Section 8 voucher, to get you in with the low income voucher or grant, with whatever project. My daughter told me they got a homeless voucher. And it's another one too she was telling me about. But now keep in mind, family, I'm talking about the LaTanya D. Copeland House of Hope. Now watch where I go with this. It's a 5-phase process. The first step, before I bring you in, you have to sign up for the mental health program. Once you registered, you and your kids, then I'll bring you in. I'm only giving you a space temporarily. If you on TCA or something like that, the goal is to get you off of it. Is to help you make more money where you can afford to pay a regular rent and take care of your family. Now, basically, when I say this, I'm looking at women and children when I say that. But I help the men too. The men is not the problem. It's the women and the children because of what I'm saying. I know it's a lot of mothers out there, single mothers, that's taking care of their children by themselves because the men aren't there. And I'm going to tell y'all this too. Stop blaming it on the government. Stop doing it. Because number one, if you married or you committed with somebody or you making a family, it's your job to take care of your family, not the government or the state. That's why they don't want the man in the house. Why should the man be in the house when you need the government to take care of you? We didn't have to. My wives never had to worry about that. And I listen to y'all play that game. But if it's a mother with a husband and wife, you man enough to make 5, 10, 20 kids, be man enough to take care of them. You looking for the state and the government to take care of your children that you made. And then gonna get mad when they say, well, you're not being responsible. You're not taking care of your responsibilities. We don't want you in there. I ain't understand none of that at first. You don't like it, do you? Because I listen to a lot of black people cry like that. Take care of your responsibilities. If you got 5 kids, I'm going to tell you this. Let me make this clear. 1 child can be expensive as heck. I already know. 1. I got a 23-year-old son, a 25-year-old daughter, a 27-year-old daughter, a 31-year-old daughter, a 37-year-old daughter. Thank God they grown. Now. I'm sorry. Look, thank God they grown with their own family. I can sit back and watch. You're doing a great job. Me and your mama taught you very, very well. Me and your mama taught you well. Look, that's what I was telling my daughter the other day, family. I said, I am so, so proud of you. Lil Steve went and got him a Tesla. And he riding around showing me how this work and that work. You know, I ain't paying no damn attention to it, right? I said, how much gas it take? He said, Dad, it don't take gas, it's electric. I was like, oh. I'm getting scared. A lot of stuff turning into electric. Technology. So I had to push the thing like this to get in and it pops out. I said, oh, I'm used to that. They was teaching me like I was a child. Look at that video. My daughter was like, Dad, you got it? Keeping life real. I'll be blown away, family. I'll be blown. I drove the tractor trailer, right? Well, let me go back to this. 3 years ago, Mike, an officer created 14 charges on me in a fake police report. The first judge that let me home, he said something ain't right about this. He said the charges and the report don't go together. And it didn't. How you gonna charge me with home invasion, burglary, and armed robbery? Home invasion and burglary on my own rental property and business. I never had a chance to talk with a judge to let them know that is my lease property and business. I was doing my talk shows out of there as well. My office was in them 2 houses. So how am I going to do a break-in on my own stuff? The people that lives in the house is my clients. I'm the one that's renting the property. And that's what I would tell the police. These are my clients. They're not my tenants. I'm the tenants. They are my clients. It was like they wasn't getting it. I am the tenant. These are my clients in my housing program, my business. They kept doing landlord tenant. I said, no, I'm the tenant. So not being smart with a lot of y'all police that's listening, it's something about this suit. You don't hear nothing when somebody talking to you when that suit is on. But I notice when I'm around a lot of y'all and y'all don't have them on, y'all are totally different people, total different people. I don't know what it is. I don't have no reason to lie, manipulate, and play nobody. Well, anyway, I just learned over the years when it come to dealing with them, shut up, Steve. Shut up. Mainly when I asked this officer, do you know what a transitional housing program is? Because that's basically what I do. When he said no, I knew I was lost right there. He was lost. So it was like, shut up, Steve. Don't even say nothing else. Because it wasn't, now I'm trying to explain to him why you're at this building and what I do in this building. But once he said he didn't know what a transitional housing program was, I knew right then and there, just shut up. He wanted to know what crime was committed. Wait a minute, I'm the one that called you. But now you coming at me trying to see that I do something wrong, but I'm the one that called you to prevent certain things. Family, I'm not trying to be smart. That's why I had to learn to start shutting my mouth when it comes to the police. They study law as well. They trying to see what type of crime did you commit. So either they could lock you, charge you and all this type of stuff. And when I realized that he wasn't paying attention to the other part, I said, shut up. Because I know me with this. I know this, and I will come. Because the first thing they're going to do, they're going to go towards the way they was taught. And I'm going to come to you with real stuff. But I had to respect. That's where they at, and that's how they've been taught. The type of housing program I got, I deal with people with psychological issues. If I call you for you to come out and help me with my clients, you're supposed to take them right to the psychiatric award. It's on their page. And they act like they didn't know. Well, most of them didn't study the trauma thing, right? That's what it was. They just they don't understand that part when it comes to the police department. Because what I had to do was run downtown, file papers for them to come and serve my client to take them to get help. The judge told me on 2 occasions, she said, Mr. Copeland, that wasn't your job for you to come here. I said, Your Honor, I know. But I was arguing with the Eastern District Police Department every time they came out. Landlord, tenant. I said, no, I'm the tenant. These are my clients. So I realized they were stuck because they were saying it so much, I started making up that song. Landlord, tenant, boom. Landlord, tenant, boom. So I started asking them, give me their ID number, badge number, names. It was told, my daughter was telling the police what was happening to me. And he told her to tell me, start getting their badge numbers and names. I got so many of them, family, for stupid stuff. But once again, it's the way they was taught. It's the way they was taught. Because I started realizing this. Blew me away. They said if they don't see the crime with their own 2 eyes, there's nothing they can do. I said, what? They got to see it with their own 2 eyes. And that same police that said that to me, when he wrote that false police report, it didn't even include me in it as far as doing nothing to my nephew. He didn't know who it was in that sense. But like I said, I never had a chance to talk with a judge. And I was looking for the organizations that I work with to stand up for me. One white guy did, and Dr. J did a little fundraiser for me to pay the lawyer, because I had to move away from the public defender once I realized he kept coming at me like I did something wrong. I'm like, you're not going to do that to me. I'm talking about dealing with our, I'm going to say criminal system, justice system. But I'm going to tell y'all, because of my mouth, because of my community activism, because of being a human rights or civil rights advocate, we are, look it up, considered as lawyers, but we're not licensed. You get me? I read that up too, because we representing the people. I was like, huh? So we are considered as lawyers. So you got to understand the constitutional rights. Excuse me, family. You got to understand, get into the amendments and all of that. So you got to understand the rights, people rights, civil rights, equal rights, constitutional rights. I learned enough that if you call me to come out and speak, I'll come out and eat your butt up. Because see, what I have a tendency of doing, family, and I need y'all to hear this. Whatever issue that goes on in life, and if we fighting against the politicians, Baltimore City, to do the right things, if I have experienced certain things, I'm going to touch it a little bit. A lot of your politicians won't do that. I'll touch on it a little bit, then I'll tell you what we can do to turn it around. They don't like it. They ain't trying to hear it. That's the difference, Baltimore City, with Steve Copeland. Ask Brandon Scott and them. They know whenever I come, I'm telling you, they are professionals, but I come from the street. So by me coming from the street, you taking that old stuff and you twisting it to help people, to help them understand how you can work with the people and get them out of those type of situations. You know what I mean? No, they don't want to hear it. So when I come in, I stand real tall and proud. And when I open up my mouth, it might be scientists, it might be doctors there, it might be, wherever we're speaking at, basically, right? Mainly, when that thing happened July, family, Baltimore, with the down on Pennsylvania North, I got that phone call, I hardtail over there. We fought to get safe consumption sites here in Baltimore City for the Finney epidemic. They fought us not to get it here. We fought to get the spy plane here in Baltimore City to help reduce, for TikTok's sake, the unalive rate by Pew Pew. We fought to get that plane here, the surveillance plane. I was telling our young men, I said, y'all can keep doing what you're doing, but guess what? Nobody gonna have to snitch on you this time. You're gonna tell on yourself. Because once we collect that evidence, we coming to get you. And this is what I was talking with our young people in the community about, our young men. because the old saying was snitches get stitches, right? That surveillance camera up in there, wherever once you commit that unaliving, once you commit that unaliving, we can pinpoint that spot right there, track it back to where you came from to come and commit it, and where you left from there. And what we do, we give that information to the police, the homicide detectives, to come and get you. And if you think I'm lying, ask Ivan Bates, because he got information from them to help this guy out that came from the spy plane. Y'all didn't know that, but I knew. I knew what it was going to help bring to us. This was back in 2017 when it was 343 unalives that year. That's why I started a new Be More City, rebuilding our communities. I started that page 2017. I met a lot of parents who lost their sons and daughters that year. Some people was unalive in the counties. They wasn't included in the city thing. In the 343, I met some of them parents too. We still stay in touch to this day. We finally got that plane here. It was called the spy plane. They turned the name around to surveillance plane. It came here. It's supposed to stay up for a year. What's up, Mr. Truth? They kept it up for about 6 months and then got rid of it. I said, y'all mother suckers. Ross had to leave, and they gave him this. They gagged him. But one thing about it, you can't gag me. I can share certain things that most people can't do because I'm just putting out news. I'm great, bro. And you too. That's what I do as a community activist. That's what I do as a community organizer. That's what I do as a homeless advocate, a human rights advocate, a civil rights advocate. We fighting for your rights. I said we. So I have to stay in touch with the Innocent Project, Lady J, and the things that she does. Van, Green, all of them. Guys went to prison for 20, 30, 40 years. They was 15, 16, innocent, coming home now. Oh, man, I'm sorry to hear that, bro. I was wondering what was going on. I don't know, family. This is God, because this wasn't my goal to come on here and talk to this level. But I'm here in Baltimore City. I'm here. And I've been taking pictures of like Morgan, Loyola College, Clippers Mill. I just want a lot of our parents in Baltimore City. Hey, Mr. Petty, there go my nephew. I just want a lot of people in Baltimore City to know that there are some beautiful places around in Baltimore City. There are. I'm telling you. And I know a lot of y'all know about Park Heights, near the zoo. Go right down that hill. It's like a whole different world. I walked over there the other day, walked through the complex and everything, took some pictures. But when I do this, family, when I do my little skits like that, I want y'all to share that with people that might be struggling with their youth. You get me? And to let them know a lot of people don't have money to go to other cities and visit, like you know. But there are areas, historical areas in Baltimore City where you can go and walk through. And the amazing thing is you will feel like you in another city or something, right? I'm telling you. I can tell y'all where waterfalls at and all that. Parks, you, your family, and your dogs. Come on. I'm only doing this, family, because look, we might look at other people' lives. You get me? Lives, and feel like, oh, we can't live a certain way. Now, it's not that you might can't afford the $1 million homes or the 500,000 for 500,000, 300,000. You might can't afford it. Okay, we got that. But guess what? Just to be in the area. Uh, um, True said, True. I look. I learned that. True said they lock people up that are innocent. The more they have in lockup, the more state get money. I learned that truth when I got locked up. It was the inmates that told me that they're getting paid off of you. And I'm gonna tell y'all something too. I watched the white man and his daughter walk through there. I was in the hospital during this time with the warden and everything. I knew exactly who they was. I knew who they was. A lot of people don't know Baltimore City. Now I can only tell y'all from what I learned here. The inmates have a union. The ACLU. Now I'm not sure with um, the Center for Popular Democracy, but the ACLU fights for the inmates' rights as well, liberties. Yep. So, but what they do once you go to prison, they will make you think you lost your freedom or your liberty. But the ACLU fights for their rights. I didn't know that until when they came in, I met them. But the ACLU fought against us for getting that spy plane up. So I realized they was bigger than what, just a regular community organization does. They huge. I'm talking about the American Civil Liberty Union, the ACLU. Communities United, I'm sorry, that's for Baltimore City. But the Center for Popular Democracy is huge too. Now, when I say that, they fight for the people, civil rights, equal rights, and constitutional rights, not just black people. Black people ain't the only people that's struggling or going through changes or got they put their feet on their necks. I know, truth. Now, I haven't read back up on it in a while, but it was some private owners that was suing because they're not locking enough of them up. I said, what the heck? So I'm gonna say this, Baltimore. I haven't been over there since I left. I don't know if they start that construction on that new prison right there on Eagle Street, but that's $1 billion prison. And y'all know they're going to need people to fill it up, right? Now, mind you, I can only go off some of the information and the research that I've done myself. In 2017, we had 343 Baltimore City by pew, by gun. In the inner city, 343 homicides, right? I just looked it up. This 2026, for 2025, it was like 120 something or 30. They said that's the lowest it been in 50 years. Now let me share this with y'all. That's not just the police department work. Okay? In order for them, you got these businesses, you have these nonprofits, community, like we, ours, us, like Safe Streets, even though it's a lot of controversy there. That was the whole point of making Safe Streets, to reduce TikTok, to reduce the pew for TikTok sake violence. In Baltimore City, they was creating, I'm talking about Safe Streets, to help reduce the gun violence. But what I had to look at too, family, you got your police department, then it's the community. It's the community that has to come together, to be honest with y'all, to help slow a lot of it down. Now, I'm going to say this and I'm going to get ready to end this, right? July, right? When we had the fentanyl thing. I was trying to say Finney because of TikTok overdose, right? One thing I learned, family, politicians only create laws. So I said I'm going to stop coming at them so hard. Our politicians and in the police department. They study laws. We come with the solution. The more we try to slow a lot of this down, we become the problem. Steve Copeland, because of his mouth, I can only tell y'all from a person that used to live a very, very corrupt lifestyle, whose life has turned around. All right, bro, we'll talk. I'm not trying to scare nobody away. When I talk about my 12-step spiritual journey, be honest. Those are the words I use rather than saying Jesus Christ. Those are the words that I use rather than coming straight biblical, You get me? Because I started understanding everybody don't believe in Christ. However God worked with you, that's the way God worked with you. That's why when he opened up my mind and I started realizing is how he works with us individually. So whatever your religion may be, however he's working with you. And that's what I begin to see as I begin to grow. Shirley, I'm sorry, Curl and Showell, I just want to say thank you for saying this at our church. She said, God can say no at one time in all languages. Excuse me, family. That took me out that religious box. All right, bro. God bless you. That took me out that religious box. When she said, God can say no in all languages at one time. Took me out of that box. Jamal Bryant. Thank you, nephew. When he came in our church, he had a Bible about this big. He said, find your life story. He said, your story is in the Bible. And when he said that, once again, it started taking me out of that box, the religious box. The same spirit that empowered them, encouraged them, and motivated them to write down their experiences is what he used to work with us. So I started realizing I'm no different than them. And I'm talking about the first covenant that he made with them during that time, which is the Old Testament. Now, what do I look like? Knowing that in Isaiah, it talks about the virgin's birth, predicted the virgin's birth, right? They was prophets. Did not marry, had a baby. And his name would be called Emmanuel, God with us. A lot of y'all read that and you deny it. God in the flesh. Way before he became in the flesh. And you will turn around and deny it because you're trying to figure it out. It is what it is. I had to stop because a lot of stuff didn't make sense to the human mind. That's all I'm saying. Because I was a figure out or two. But this don't make sense. This not coming together. Look, I used to do all that too, fam. It got too confusing to me. But it became personal after a while. So that's why when y'all hear me say my 12-step spiritual program, I'm talking about my old life. I'm sharing with y'all my Old Testament. When I share how I used to live, the things that I used to do, I believe it flies right over people's head. I'm sharing my old testimony. And you know what a lot of y'all would do? Because see, this is that. When they was there, like you was right there with them. Nope. You read their story, you understand why God used them. And no matter how a lot of them would stumble and fall, they got back up and they kept moving. Some people run away and move away from their ministry. That's why I know no matter what, I can't stop doing what God called me to do. I ain't worrying about you and nobody else. I had to focus on me and him. And I know some people might call God like Mother Earth, might energy, all that's fine now. Please do not get it wrong. Because that's how he worked with you. That's how you see stuff. I like to hear, how he worked with you. Because it's not to judge you. Because I understand today that God deals with his people in so many different ways. I speak English. I don't speak Spanish. I don't speak Chinese. I'm not in that box today. Steve Copeland from the couch. You Google me, or you can go to AI. You can put Steve Copeland Sr. in there from Baltimore City. Steve Copeland Sr. Now, you could put strengthen the community. The Latanya D. Copeland House of Hope. But I'm telling you, if you Google Steve Copeland Sr. and put in the Couch Conversation Show because you wanted to connect you with Baltimore City, it will tell you everything I do. It will tell you basically my life story. And it talks about how I talk about personal stuff. And it'll tell you the platforms that I'm on as well right now. So I'm only saying this, family, because this is like a calling. And not just a calling. My actions match my words. If I can't do something for you, I'm going to point you in the right direction. It will tell you everything Steve Copeland does. So it's not about my pride, family. It's not about my ego and all that type of stuff, because what I realized, from my personal experience, I drove the tractor trailer. I'm in an area that, well, I can't say I don't know because he brought me here. As far as turning my life around, point me in a whole different direction. Sometimes, yes, I want to go do this. I want to go do that. I wouldn't even be surprised. I turn 70, I might start thinking I'm back in my 30s. I don't know. You don't know. But I could tell you right now, a lot of the stuff that I used to do, I just don't do no more. I just don't. It's just some things just don't feel right. I was picking with my daughter, right? Because I was telling her how I've been walking. She's like, why you walking all like that? Why you this and that? Like, girl, I gotta get my energy together. I ain't been in a relationship in 7 years. So reason why I'm stalling, because I had to kind of watch what I was trying to say. Now, mind you, my daughter got a child. But still, I'm like, girl, I'm trying to prepare this. And family, y'all know that's look. The couch conversation is about keeping it real, right? But now still, I'm talking to my daughter and we talk a little bit about everything and anything, you get me? But still, dad had to, I'm like, girl, please, I'm getting to that point, Baltimore City. I'm almost ready to come out of retirement. But I'm going to tell you, I want you to have a great connection with God. If you're not a God-fearing woman or have a connection, I just don't want us to go through a lot. I know we're going to have our ups and downs, but I feel like this. If you really love yourself and you care for yourself, you're only going to give me the best of you. That's all I want to give you. I ain't trying to argue. I ain't trying to fuss. Keep people business where it's at. Don't bring it into our house. You know, I know, like I said, we're going to have our changes. You do what you got to do. You do what you love to do doing. That's all I'm trying to say. Because guess what? I love what I'm doing, and I'm not changing it for nobody. But I know the next wife to come in my life, I got to make sure I keep a balance there with the business, with the community activist stuff, because now I got somebody. So I have to keep that balance, because I don't never want you to feel like I'm spending too much time here and there, because it can get like that. But it's me that has to find that balance. So remember what I was talking about when I said self-control and self-discipline. When I left out of here, the goal was just to go and do an hour and come back. I knew for a fact I wasn't going to be back by 6 o'clock, because I was over there picking with Mr. Petty and them and his prompt. I shared that a little bit earlier, family. And I told, I'm trying to keep it straight with y'all. When I open up my mouth, I'm sharing from a level of personal experience, not my opinion, not what I think, not how I feel. Or I think you should do. No, I don't do that to nobody, because I understand you got to go through what you need to go through to learn some stuff in life. So basically, you in it, you stuck, but you was able to work up out of it. So now I can tell you how I worked out of it. You can do the same thing. These are the steps that I took to come out. I don't care what it is. But you got so many people, because of their pride and their ego. Well, I think you should do this. I think you should do that. Well, you keep thinking then, sucker. Don't come at me with it. Because I had to humble myself, family, because I learned that over the years. If I have not experienced what you're going through, shut up. It's the reason why people go through what they go through. They call it trials and tribulations. That's part of my business, helping people put their lives back together. That's a personal thing. Business. I was there at one point. These are the steps. See, I don't hear y'all say that. These are the steps I was able to take. The strength, the courage, the confidence, the power inside. You get me? To be able to work up out of these things. Harmful stuff. Y'all will sit back and say, I would do this, I would do that. They don't want to be stuck. So I get you with that. I get you. Don't get it wrong. I get you. I be laughing, right? And I'm going to end this. I be laughing. Because you know when people say, well, if you're going to cheat, you need to just leave. You need to just go if you're going to cheat. That bull crap is easier said done. Easier said than done. Know why? Because I'm a cheater. But I didn't realize at the time, when I started cheating, I was working my way out the marriage. So you're right. You're right. But if you haven't experienced it, you won't understand it. That's why I trip out on a lot of y'all. Because guess what? My first marriage, when I started cheating, rather than just leaving, I ain't worried no I was cheating. The point was I was having fun. It was the sneakiness, the riding stuff but with it, right? It was like that lion on a hunt. I ain't worried no, cause I in my mind it's like I'm gonna get this on the outside, but I don't want to let that go. You get me? I ain't trying to let that go. You know, I want to keep that right there, but I want this on the side. I didn't realize when I started stepping, I was actually doing what y'all say. You should just leave. Because eventually I just left. And then now when I hear y'all say that, I be like, you almost curse. You say whatever you want out your mouth. If you have not experienced it for yourself, you won't get it. But I got you. And eventually, yes, even with my second marriage. Because anytime to me, you start stepping out, either you're not finding your mate as desirable as you used to. And I got to the point I didn't want to continue doing the work that it takes to make it work. That's why, hey Janice, that's why I share my experience with y'all. I gave up. I don't want you to give up. I yelled out to God in my second marriage, please help me. I was tired. I was delivered from it. So you can read scripture, you can study scripture, and I'm going to tell you what God did for me. Saved my life. I want you to go and grab Bible and bring it back. And I ain't gonna do nothing but laugh at you. That shit sound good, don't it? Excuse my language. But when it's actually happening, it's like, I'm experienced. Oh my God. And then you understand the work. That's why when I hear people say they've been married for like 10, 20, 30, 40 years, I'm like, oh my God, because I understand the work it takes to make it work. I'm talking about me. Because I'm the one that gave up. I went and told my bishop, I give up. I ain't fighting to keep the marriage no more. I would never. I'm only telling you what I done. So I don't, if y'all can work it, please work it. Don't get it wrong. And y'all know I share this with y'all. Don't give up. I made the decision. I'm telling y'all now. I made the decision. I'm like, I'm gone. I ain't doing. I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm not working on this no more. I'm telling you, that's where I went here. But I'm not saying right for everybody to just give up. Please keep that in mind. Okay? But guess what? That's my baby. Both of them. It just didn't work. My second wife, I don't just love her, I'm still in love with her. But I just realized it didn't work. And I was telling my son the other day while we was riding around. Me and his mother did a great job raising them. Even though we didn't get along together, it was like, rah, 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 rah. He bust out laughing. I said, cause you know, you kind of understand. But I said, cause when it came to y'all, I said, we ain't play. I'm telling you, when it came to y'all, we ain't play. But I said, your mother and me, two powerful, strong people, came up basically somewhat the same way. I came up raising my brothers and sisters. She came up raising hers. So she's a very domineering person still to this day. And you know, I stand firm on mine. But I'm sitting up here and I'm talking with Lord Steve, and I'm like, yeah, but you know how, because we would, wow, 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 wow. He bust out laughing, right? I said, because I'm trying to teach to help them understand that relationships had their struggles, you know what I mean, challenges. But I said, other than that, That's my girl. I said, that's my girl. We came from street. Steve bust out laughing because I be telling them sometimes. I said, tell your mother I said I love her. And they be like, all right, Dad. I said, tell her now. Because know what? Even though the marriage didn't work, I don't hate her family. I'm the one that did what I did. So I had to own up to my stuff. I talk with my 27-year-old like this too, to help her understand. There's a lot of similarities there with her and her baby daddy. And I said I had to learn to love your mother from a distance. I'm happy for her. And she's happy for me. But I know, and I tell my kids, anytime your mother call my phone, if your mother call my phone, I'm like, what's wrong? It's related to me, to the kids. But because she had called my phone one day. Now I got 33 years clean. 33. I think one of my children said, no, he got 35 years clean. So they was over there talking about my clean time. So my ex called me, right, to ask me how much time did I have. And I bust out laughing because they was over there trying to calculate my time. I said, no, it's 33 years now. A day at a time, working towards 34. But I bust out laughing because when I seen the call, I'm like, oh my God, they over there talking about my time clean. I'm just saying this, family. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Thank you, Heavenly Father. Because sometimes I don't know what I might say out my mouth. I'll start off in one area and he'll move me somewhere else. But I know whenever I come on here and I start here, and if you right there, you needed to hear what you heard. If I go over here, you needed to hear what you heard. If I go over here, because sometimes, like today, I shared stuff that I wasn't trying to share. That's how I know when it's actually God. Because I'll come on here. When I ask him to decrease me and increase him, decrease me and increase him. I'm just his messenger. But when Steve Copeland opened his mouth, Steve Copeland coming from a level of Old Testament story to a new life. See, I already know. I already know. My goal is just to continue doing what he called me to do. I love y'all, Baltimore City. Please go to my YouTube page. Follow, like, and subscribe. You can also go to my X, my Twitter. I want to make sure I say it right because I always get Twitter. It's 3 T's: Twitter, Twitch, and TikTok. A lot of y'all in Baltimore City, because I'm trying to find a way to set my broadcast up where I can bring people up. And the same way I can have guests over here on TikTok, it's easier on TikTok. Everything is set up a lot easier on TikTok than it is for my broadcast network. And I had people say they help me. People do that. Oh, I'm gonna help you do this. I help you because I want my own broadcast studio, like what I had to set up here. But I want my own space as far as the broadcasting part of everything. That's all I'm trying to say. Because I am broadcasting. But this is personal. I don't mind bringing one or two. But I'm at a point right now, I don't really want anybody to know where I live at. Not being smart. Not being smart. Man, I don't want, and I ain't talking about, I'm talking about the powers that be. Now I'm going to stop that. I'm going to stop that because I know God got my back. I know God got my back. But I was talking to one of the polices today at Morgan, right? Older gentleman walking around with the camera stuff in his hand. And she was telling me that you can walk, but I go in the inside sometimes and sit down and record stuff. But what I try not to do, basically, show the children too close up. Right? Because in a way you don't want to violate their privacy. So I already know about stuff like that. But what I was telling the lady, because of some of the work that I do, being a community act, matter of fact, I need to go and talk to the school. Real simple. Because I can get a badge to walk around. And what I've been thinking about doing too, like the shirt I have on, putting the name of the company and everything on the shirts, like the Couch Conversation Show. Then do one with B Moore's Real Teen Talk Show. And I'm thinking about ordering some shirts now, so that when I'm out or I pop up in certain places, they'll know who I actually am by reading what I have. So this is where God is taking this at now. I'm letting y'all know, anytime you pop up here and you talking on TikTok, they can hear you over on my Restream broadcast network. Right now they hear me. So anybody that will text something in here, right, I can tell y'all what they text. This is how I have to communicate with y'all for right now. I want a cameraman and all that stuff. I'm telling y'all. So if it's God's will for it to happen, it'll happen. So I'm going to just say this, Baltimore City, because I've been on for 2 hours now, a little bit over 2. I think it was something after 7 when I came up. I just want y'all to know that it's like God is moving me into this adventure, nature place area. You get me? It's so much that I want to show Baltimore City that's in Maryland. It's a place that I delivered to, and they had plants and all that in it, bushes that they made from animals, made out of animals and all of that. These type of places, family, I'm just looking at our children. I'm just looking at, if we can, and this is the parents now, take your children to healthier areas, it will help work here. And not just your children, your own mind. Getting you out of that ghetto mindset. I don't want to use words like that with us, family. But I get sick and tired of us feeling like we can't accomplish or be something in life. You keep feeding into that, yes, you're going to, back up. And keep in mind, I'm at a point in my life where I don't have to prove nothing to nobody at 64, you get me? So the goal is to help people work your way up there. I didn't live through my 20s. I didn't live through my 30s. I didn't live through my 40s. '50s. I'm just amazed. And right now, when I say 64, I'm looking back when I was 21. I didn't think I was going to make it past 21. Keep playing. You 30, 40 years old, right? Really starting to live life. Normally through our 20s, we running. We doing everything in the early phases. So by the time we get into our 30s and 40s, now mind you, start slowing down. Because by this time you should have your stuff in order. You got 40s, you got 50s, you got 60. Starting to relax. And I'm sitting up here and I'm watching people my age, a little bit older. I'm retired, but I started the LLC. If I want to go in, I can go in. If I don't, I got people. Look, if I do, it's okay. If I don't, it's okay. I'm just looking at my life and I'm honored to be here. And I look at the work that it took to get here. I'm looking at my children. They're adults, blowing me away. Sometimes I'll be like, I wish my mother was here to see them. I look at my nieces and my nephews. I'm talking about the ones I raised. Rhonda Holly, I love you. That's my oldest niece. Cherie Copeland. It's my next to the oldest. All of them have children, with children. Y'all blow Uncle Steve mind away. Nasira, Amira, my niece Marquita passed. Y'all blows Uncle Steve mind away. I truly, truly, truly thank God. I prayed and I asked God because of the sins that I committed. They are mine, not my children, not my families. Don't let them suffer for my stuff. They got their own life to live. See, people get so religious, right? And y'all know what I'm talking about. Because David's children suffered, right? Because of his sins. Nah. The story might have went like that, but whatever David did, God forgave David over and over, the same way he told me. Mr. Copeland, I don't care how much you stumble and you fall. I love you anyway. It's people that will go in and twist it. But I know what he told me in my spirit. You can't play with that. You cannot play with that, family. And that's a lot of y'all biggest problem. You don't take certain things, certain scriptures that you read or you study. Your life story is right there. But you steady looking at somebody else's, not realizing, wow, I experienced this too. The same creator that created them, that knew me before the foundation of this world, put everything in me. even for me to come on like I'm on now. He knew. April the 9th, Thursday, 9:12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, that Steve Copeland was going to be on his live stream broadcast. God already knew. Running off of his mouth. That's the only one I'm trying to make sure I please. You get me? That's ooh, ooh. I'm telling y'all. Now, mind you, I did not know, I mean, where I'm at today spiritually and everything, right? I didn't understand all of this. I'm laughing, right? Because look, that's why I love y'all. Please don't take it wrong. But if you just Holy Ghost filled, fire baptized, speaking in tongues, flipping out of buildings and all that type of stuff, so heavenly bound that you're no earthly good, I'm sorry. I can't be bothered with you. I cannot. If you act like you don't, the older I get, the wiser I get to see that. This what Marcellus sent me. He always sent me spiritual inspirations, right? But look, I'm being real. I'm keeping it real. I love my saints. I love my Christian brothers and sisters. Look, but look, I'm just saying this, right? Because I remember them days. I remember when I was trying not to sin and fall short and lust and do a lot of, the other stuff. I remember, I'm telling you, little by little, I begin to let those things go. And so you can say what you want. Oh, he's still struggling with the old. No, he's not. I can tell you right now, I be trying to fantasize. Ooh, what is that? I be trying to picture a woman in my head and we doing, movies and all that. I be like, why I can't fantasize? God, when I was younger, I used to fantasize and all of them like, why I can't? Let me fantasize about 15, 20 minutes. Lay in the bed, fantasize. If I lay in the bed and fantasize about 15, 20 minutes, something else might happen. That's probably why he won't let me fantasize. I'm just keeping it real. Y'all can keep that Gucci Boochie stuff over there. I'm keeping it real. A lot of stuff I used to do, I just don't do no more. I like saying that. That's because I'm older. And that's just how simple I try to keep life. The stuff I used to do as a boy, I'm growing up. That little boy inside of me haven't been as destructive. Because sometimes he want to get out and do what he want to do. But it's the grown up that had to practice, that have to practice some self-control and discipline. My story is my story. I already lived it. You can't take it away. It's done. And it's over with. And if you stuck in certain areas in your life that you trying to get better with, you're very welcome over here. If you come in and you want to talk about this, talk about that, until you able to gain or muster up the courage and the confidence to walk away from it. That's what I had to do. God, please help me. I had to get sick and tired. You know how your back is up against the wall? I had to get beat down when I had to scream out. That's when God said, okay, my son is ready. Thank you, Dad. I love y'all. Baltimore City, I'm out. TikTok, I'm going to get ready to end this as well. A lot of the stuff I used to do, I don't do no more. Come on in.